Thank you for watching Persistent Bosses. My name is Lisa C. Laird. I am the owner and CEO of NOLA Persistence. On my show, we talk about obstacles, rejections, and the wins. But the truth is, you can't enjoy the wins or appreciate the wins if you have not been on the journey. Today on my show, I have someone that knows all about winning. But guess what? He's been on a journey. One of the things I love about my next guest, he's had a lot of popularity from being on a show. I'm going to get to that. But on this show, he was so appreciative. He actually did a follow-up video about his feelings. And the one thing he said that has stuck with me is, I felt like I haven't let anyone down. When someone says that statement, it's not about just winning for him. It is completing the journey, which the journey is not over. So I would like to welcome seasoned Voice 28, Dustin Dale Gaspard.
Thank you so much.
You like my little intro?
Goosebumps. Look, I still got them right there.
I'm a really good public speaker.
Yeah,
so.
you really are. Smooth. And I haven't said it yet, but you have the perfect New Orleans accent.
I do have the perfect New Orleans accent.
One that I cannot ever mimic. And will never try to.
You know what's funny? Sometimes, because I'm a sales trainer, I'll train people all over. And I actually got to work with a real estate company from Dustin, and she had a location in New Mexico. She's like, will you train my 8 agents? And I'm like, if they can handle this. She's like, I think we can. And when it was over, some of the guys were like, I thought it was so cute. It's not so cute when I get mad, but it was cute. But I love your story. I know everybody's after you about the voice, which, look, you earned that. You earned that. But I know it's been a journey. Mm-hmm. You know, one thing about me, I started sales 20 years ago. I know what it's like to not be on salary, hourly. I have no PTO. I have no sick time. And I don't get paid for effort. I get paid for results.
Yeah, right.
And I want to talk about those results because you may be in the 337. I'm in the 504, but I bet you we have so much in common.
I'm sure.
So the first thing I want to ask you is when you became a full-time musician, because that is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you agree with this, but when someone says, oh, I do this part-time, well, you're going to get part-time results.
That is totally true.
That's the truth. So you're not going to get what you think. So why did you decide I'm going all in? This is going to be my career, my moneymaker, because that's a huge risk.
There were a lot of things that needed to line up for that to happen. But I would say that the main jumping off point was I'm not a musician. I am a songwriter and storyteller. I'm an artist. Musicians, you can plug and play. You know, right. if you have a trade, you can go pick up a job as a carpenter for this company, that, and the other. I'm not a guitar player. I can't just hop in with this country band and, you know, play in a funk group or anything like that. And so I had to learn what was my puzzle piece and collect the resources to fit in and all these places where I can plug myself in. And in around 2019, I discovered that, or something of the sort, where when I met, you know, other artists, highly focused artists that were doing it, what I learned was that they were just traveling full time. They were going to all kind of different places because there was a ceiling on themselves because of usually the area of which they were in. So
I'm sure you relate to this. I always ask this. Even when I'm in St. Bernard, or if I'm in Plaquemines Parish, Livingston Parish, this is the way to listen is, what's your last name? Who's your mom? Mm-hmm. Who's your dad? Where'd you go to school? Sometimes that's a blessing and a curse because you can be the most qualified person ever, but you're not going to get it.
Right.
And I could tell you, I've been doing this 20 years and I've gotten so bold, like, let me come to your office and give me 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It does not matter how good I am. It
yeah.
doesn't matter what my resume says.
Yeah.
So-and-so's uncle, brother, sister, cousin does what you do. And yes. They will not go past that. And, you know, I had Miss Caroline here before you and she's like, it's like that all over the world. But I could tell you in the city of New Orleans, it's not that bad. But these little towns, whoo.
Yeah, it's the politics of the business. And unfortunately, in certain areas, like there's a high factor of nepotism that there's only a certain amount of food on the table and people don't want to divvy that up for any newcomers or people that don't share the company of which you keep. So that it's been very, very hard here forever.
So your friends and family didn't try to help you when you first started?
None of my friends and family play music,
Right.
nor are they we're all musical fans, but none of them have those type of strings, you know?
Wow. We have that in common because, of course, I started a sales only position with an insurance company, and my mom and dad always worked in 9 to 5. They're like, "You're
Right.
crazy. You're crazy. You're
Yeah,
not going to
same.
make a check. You're crazy." So I know what it's like to have everyone say you're crazy. I mean, but 20 years later, I'm very successful, but I'm glad I didn't listen to them, but it's hard not to. But I'm going to tell you, you learned a lot from that because I'll
Mhm.
meet people who are trying to hire me to teach them how to do sales. And I'll always ask that question, why are things slow down for you?
Mhm.
Oh, I just think it's the economy. I think it's this. And I said, well, can I take a guess? I bet you your friends and family have fed you. You had that center of influence, maybe that big uncle that fed you.
Yeah.
Can't be fed forever. You've been doing this
Right.
10 years. You have to know how to hunt.
Yep.
You have to know how to find your own relationships. So here we go, relationships. Did you bond with other musicians that would be like, hey, I'm going to be at this festival. You want to come open for me? Did it work like that?
Yeah, so that's actually how in 2019 there was a songwriter festival here, and this is songwriter focused. So we're not talking about musicians, these are people that they are their business, they are their
Mhm.
artistry, not their talents per se. It's them as an entity. And I met uh, a band from Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Canada, who are 3 girls, Acadian girls, singing bilingual folk music. And they were the entity of this. Were they the best musicians I've ever seen? No, but they had a thing and they were going out and getting it. And then I met a group of guys from Ireland, a gentleman named Brian Deedy, who is a soul rock pop artist. And he had come to Louisiana all the way from Ireland because, I mean, of course, he wanted to explore the culture here, but he wanted to
Mhm.
connect and make resources all across the globe to expand his brand and his business. So when I started seeing them be so successful at it, of course, so many other things go into it, but that is like the palette for which to begin. You need the foundation, like you said. It can't be from one person or one
Mhm.
thing. You have to make those resources happen. And meeting those two group of people, I was not only inspired, but made connections to go open for them and touch myself in different markets and have these experiences that would allow me to see, okay, if I plant a seed like this amount of plants can grow. If I plant a seed here, this can happen. So
So mentoring.
yes, yeah, pretty much.
So again, I interviewed somebody before and we talked about mentoring, and sometimes people will pay me to teach them how to do public speaking. And this is always my first question. Have you ever mentored someone?
No.
And they're like, and I said, this is why I asked that. How can I get you to inspire 20 people in a crowd if you've never sit across from somebody and try to inspire them or make them
Yeah.
better without you owe me money? I think sometimes we have to give back a little bit.
Yeah.
I mentor a lot of college students because let's face it, they don't have the money, but I love being able to say, you can make it. I know it's hard. Especially, I'm sorry, I know college is important, but they don't teach these kids about dealing with people.
Mhm.
I had a girl one time tell me, I'm going to be a veterinarian, so I'm not going to deal with people. I said, well, actually, if your employees don't show up to work, it's your problem.
Mhm.
Someone doesn't like their invoice, it's your problem.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough clients coming, someone's going to go out and promote clients.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes kids miss it. But how did you follow up? Like, that's one thing, that is the heart and soul to sales. You can walk in anywhere and shake someone's hand, but you can't expect them to be blowing up your phone because they can't wait
Right.
to talk to you. So how did you follow up? Did you keep a mental note like, hey, I talked to that guy at the festival, I need to give him a call, or I'm trying to get this gig or this show and I need to follow up? Or did you have someone do that for you?
Oh, that was all me. Yeah,
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
like I have like a screenshot folder.
Oh,
That's
wow.
if it goes in the screenshot folder, it's someone to follow up with. It's just like flagging emails or something or starring them, and saving them.
Wow.
So I do that for venues, for, contacts, for watching certain podcasts that I want to be a part of, and all of these things that I think can help map out my direction and my journey. I try to make sure all of those things go in a screenshot folder and then follow up with them. It's really hard
I know.
to do it all and perform.
I know.
Performance becomes the last thing on the agenda because you can't get to the performance and be successful there if you don't have all these other things in line. And
It's
now,
that back end work.
oh my God, it's so much. And it's sometimes, I mean, it's fun to explore that self. That way, you know how the sausage is made, you know? But now it's getting to a point where there's so many connections and so many things I want to do. And then also so much opportunity that it's like, we need to split the workload a little bit. I'm going to hand this over to someone and hopefully just be able to focus on making the show the best it can be.
You'll make more money that way.
Yeah, I think
They
so.
say that when you do administrative work, you're almost given like 25 hours of your time to it. And I will, you know, it's crazy. I'm working with a bank right now and following up. And it's so funny, but all they want to do is email. Like nobody picks up the phone. And I was, you know, I was working with this girl and I'm like, look, I'm not saying you're not good. You're very organized, but you can't do 4 emails in a row and say you're being productive. They've ghosted you. Pick up the phone and find out if it's worth it.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. And you know, recently with all the, you know, all the interest and all of these different connections and everyone kind of being willing to pursue whatever's happening, it's like, I need phone calls now. I used to be horrified of phone calls. And now it's the easiest, quickest and simplest way to just make it happen. So now I'm like, yeah, give me a call. We'll talk about it.
Isn't it nice to build something for you?
Yeah.
When you sell for someone else, it's different. But when you sell for you, and you know, I'm not to get personal, but I mean, you performing is how you pay your bills.
Totally.
So how does cancellations work? Do you ask, I'm just asking for musicians. Do y'all ask for a deposit? Does the weather play a factor? Like, I know your heart has to be crushed if it's Louisiana.
Right.
Rainstorms and you're like no one's going to be there. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Recently I've been thinking about that more and more. But yeah, there's a rain clause now. Usually I just try to avoid places that are outdoors.
Yeah.
Because it like Louisiana, like you said, it's just so hard and so unpredictable that to make the best effort and the best guarantee, it's just, hey, let's just put this inside somewhere, you know?
Yeah, because that's your money. And you, not to laugh, but I can remember when I first started doing sales and I'd make these big commission checks. Boy, I'm spending them like I have all this money. And then I'm like, oh, I don't have anything in the hopper. Like, oh my, like I don't have a job. Like I need to keep going. But what would make me mad is if I had something big coming up, I'm spending that money and then it cancels on me. And I'm like, no, you can't depend on anyone else. You can't.
I totally know what you mean.
So I do have something funny for you. So I know you traveled a lot. When did you, because you said that you're from Cow Island and very simple life. When did you actually start traveling? How old were you when you actually got out of Louisiana?
Like really traveling would have been, because I took trips here and there, but probably 2020.
Oh, so yeah.
2?
Oh, yeah. So you just got out.
Yes.
So you, all right.
21. Yeah. 21, 22, because I started playing in a duet and she had a lot of connections that were sending us to all parts of the state.
That's awesome.
And it's like, let's make it happen, you know?
So what was your thoughts? I guess I'm so simple. My parents, and I thought I had a great childhood. We went to Biloxi. That's it. On USA, the slides. And then Katrina took them out. And then we would go to Dallas for Six Flags. So when I started working and I started winning trips, I go to Dustin. I'm like, water's clear? No way. Because all I've seen is the muddy Mississippi and Biloxi. Nothing against our state, but that's all I've seen. Totally. And then I go to Gatlinburg and I'm like, oh my God, I've only seen levees my whole life. Like it's crazy. So what was your thought when you like got out of Louisiana? And not that we don't love our state, but we are surrounded by water and levees. I mean, truly is.
Yeah, totally. I think when I saw mountains for the first time I went to New Mexico and I discovered a whole new sphere of reality.
Like,
you know? It's like my back had been turned to all this beauty and wonder that I was able to, and we're not talking like the Rocky Mountains. We're talking, these are desert, bizarre sunsets and like this really.
I've been watching some of your videos. I'm like, I can just imagine, because I guess I am such a simple person, but you know, you go to Gatlinburg, you're like, oh, the river's clear. Oh my goodness. Oh, the mountains. Not that I don't love my state. But, and I will say this, we're very hard on our state.
Yeah.
And I think something that you did was so great. Not that we didn't love your music, but you kind of put us in our place. You made us appreciate. We talk about the food. We talk about Jazz Fest, Mardi Gras, our festivals. But when you sung in Cajun French, which was a risk, I think you put us all in a spot where we're like, we need to appreciate Louisiana more.
Yeah.
That's why I think the U.S. and everywhere has went nuts over your video, because to us, I felt like I should have a daiquiri in my hand. Like I should just be swaying in the wind, where everyone else was like, that is so cool. Like that type of singing. I'm like, wow, we take it for granted.
Yeah.
We take it for granted, and shame on us. We need to appreciate more, and we need to support it more.
Yeah. I think people just need to, there's so much tunnel vision here sometimes, and there's so much reality to a fault, but also like I understand there's so many people that work so damn hard that they really don't think about anything other than that. Maybe they get to the weekend and they just want to drink and party. They just forget. They get out of touch with the sentimental stuff that really comes into our reality, which is language and family, certain parts of family, and spending time with each other. And I just wanted to emphasize how my journey was a lot because of my family. Mm-hmm. Me singing Cajun French was because of that too. And the history of which we come from is so rich, but it's not just a novelty thing. It's within our reach. It's inside of you. Right. It's in your blood. So let's like put reflection on that and, touch the grass a little more.
Speaking of grass, so I know you love to do stuff outside with the landscape. Yeah. The funniest video I saw is when you were playing guitar and you were like, look at how much water's in my guitar from the humidity.
Oh, yeah. How crazy was that? Huh?
So I'm going to put you on the spot here. You don't think termites deserve any love? That is yet to be in your videos. Look, and it's so funny because when I had friends come from Tennessee, it was April. Mm-hmm. And we go to a festival, and my friend Sarah, this is a few years back, she will die when she hears this. So I'm like, yeah, let's go to the crawfish festival. We went, and within 10 minutes, she's like, what is in my hair? What is down my dress? I'm like, oh, we have a termite season. She goes, a termite season? So when I see you doing your videos, I'm like, he's yet to be swarmed. So he's doing a good job, but they're not getting no love.
No, I just saw that I played for a mosquito festival.
Yeah, mosquito festival.
Right. I think there should be a possum festival. I've seen maybe 100 of them in the past week just crossing the road. That would be awesome.
Poor things don't make it far.
Never. I'm swerving and swerving. Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm going to get in a wreck because in Plaquemines, there was one coming. I'm blowing my horn like, dude, I'm trying to save your life. Here comes the cars right now. So I did send you a little meme the other day, and it made me think of you. And why it did, it said, if you don't take risks, you're going to work for someone else that does.
Man, great.
And I thought you liked that.
Yes, I did. I absolutely did. I was saying that to myself for like the rest of the week.
Oh, you were? Yeah. Win, Lisa. Yeah. Win. So I want to share something with you that I read. And because I'm big on motivation. And while I was researching questions for you and Miss Caroline, I came across Jim Carrey. He's a great comedian. He is an entertainer.
Well, he's one of my idols.
He's awesome. Well, you'll love this. So in 2016, he actually spoke at a college, and he was talking about just life. And he said, look, I have a lesson from my father I want to share. And he says, look, my father taught me a lot, but I believe he could have been a great comedian one day. But he went the safe road. He decided to be an accountant. At 12 years old, he was laid off, and we went under. And I want to read you what he said.
I know exactly the video
you do? About. He said, you can learn a lot of lessons, but you can fail at doing what you don't love. So you might as well take a chance doing what you do love. Mm-hmm. And when I read that, of course, I thought of her, but I definitely thought of you, because when you said that statement and you got a little teary-eyed in the video, I knew right then and there, not everyone has been on your side. Not everyone has high-fived you and said, keep going. Go get him, Tiger. Yeah. You got this. And I do see sometimes you post, you posted something about prayers for my doubters. And I feel the same way. Mm-hmm. I feel like as we learn and we get better as professionals, I think some people just need that example.
Yeah.
But there are some people that are always going to be negative. There's nothing you can do about that.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with being here and succeeding to the ceiling of what is here. And then when you see somebody get past it, those people hate you more than anyone else. And it's
okay. Like, you can wave at them.
Yeah. Hey, but it's always like, hey, don't put yourself in that box. I want you to come up here too. I've run into so many relationships like that. But I love that Jim Carrey video. I actually have it saved.
Oh, you do?
And
That's
I watch
awesome.
It. Yeah, I watch it a couple times a year.
Because when he's talking about his dad, and he's talking about lessons, I don't think he was trying to be ugly, but I think he was saying, my dad did teach me a lesson. He may have not verbally said it, but the message was clear. And Jim Carrey's like, if I'm going to fail at something, it's going to be something I love doing.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, that I've felt that so hard. And like I said, I watch that video all the time because of thinking about that. And even like if you fail, it's always a win. It's always a win if you go for what you want. Even if you don't win, it's still a W. And it's crazy. I wish people could understand that.
I know I shared with you, my youngest is special needs. And I think that's kind of where my motivation came, because when he was 2 years old, still not talking. And I did make a mistake where I was like, oh, he's going to talk at 3. He's going to talk at 4. He's going to be like all the other kids. And that didn't happen. But you know what? It's not about my goals. It's about his goals. And what makes me so proud is who he is and who he's becoming, because he's a little late at the start, but it's not how you start. It's how you finish.
Yeah.
And I think I'm more proud of my son, because I'm like, you know what? I'm glad I didn't let that negativity get to me, because now he's going to inspire a lot of families that are told that. Just like you're going to inspire so many. Imagine what you're going through, and there's a musician that says, I love playing music. I wish I could do this for a living, but I don't think I'm going to make it. And you're now that example, like, well, Dustin did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you have to be okay with that failure. I mean, my definition is a little bizarre, because I lived on the street. I slept under bridges. Some of the best times of my life was when I was homeless and playing music.
You learned the most.
I didn't have anything. I knew where every fruit tree was in town, because that's how I fed myself. There was pear trees, persimmon trees, mulberry trees. And I was just thinking about, like, all right, well, what's the worst day in my life look like? I sleep on the concrete underneath the South College Bridge. I played music that day on the street, and I have a belly full of fruit. That was the worst day. And I was living to the best. Like I said, it was the best time of my life.
You probably learned the most about yourself.
Yeah, and I knew that there was nothing worse. If that was my bottom line, I was going to be completely fine.
I think the valleys are great. We have mountains, we have peaks, we have valleys. Sometimes when I'm teaching people and they're like, oh, Lisa, how you come up with all this stuff? These are my failures. That's what's written in here. Yeah. I failed and I figured it out because I didn't want to fail anymore. So that's what's written in here. That's for sure. Yeah. I have to tell you, I am so excited that you did this with me. Boy, I hope you're ready to just keep going. I want you to keep surprising us, keep going. Keep riding that wave. You've built it, you've earned it. But as you know, when you come up high, it's hard to stay up high.
Oh gosh.
Keep making your relationships. Keep getting in those festivals. I know you got that horrible summer next year. I know that's probably the quietest time for a musician.
Yeah. And for me, it's like, I'll probably just travel.
So here's a bold question. Do you think you might ever write a book?
Yeah. Yeah. Really? Yeah. For sure.
I'm writing one right now, and I'm telling you, you would rock it, because you love to storytell. You love to write music. And I'm trying to finish that last chapter. It's getting me. But you definitely have the formula to put something in a book for someone that they can read years and years on, whenever. Because sometimes when I'm having a bad month, I go back to my old motivational books.
Yeah. I used to write all the time. Now it's like I rarely have time, but I do take a lot of notes in my phone, and just think I wanted to have the proper moment to just say, wow, look at what, especially in the last 5 years, how insane this life has really just gone and gone and gone and gone.
You're going to spend the next 10 years telling everybody how you did this.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Not everybody can live that type of life.
I know. I feel very blessed.
Most people will complain why they didn't get there.
Right.
You're going to be able to inspire people how you did get there. You've been awesome, my friend. Thank you for putting up with this, West Banker.